the foul on Chaluba, on social media, it really became a topic because it was Chelsea.
I don't think that was a foul. I didn't think there was any dangerous play in there. I didn't think it was careless. There wasn't anything else the Fulham player could have done.
I know it's very natural for everybody to blame the VAR. I will blame the referee. I don't think it's a foul.
If this ball was in the box, we are not having the discussion. It's a penalty.
It looks like Pep Guardiola is sinking. We don't know how deep he's going to go. Maybe as low as a Titanic, or maybe it's just going to be a canoe.
I have not seen the Liverpool side being like they're not winning the games thanks to like coaching.
Galatasaray can also be difficult. I mean,
Like,
they've
have
signed some
to
really
see
good
that,
players.
though. Chelsea even said that even if you bring, let's change the clause. Let's make it an obligation to buy. Let's see you can pay us, then keep the player.
I think it's the most winnable games, and luckily for the Black Stars, though, the two other teams that are competing with them for the very spot for the World Cup qualification would be playing on the same day we play Chad. So that is Comoros and Mali. So something will happen there.
Welcome to Footy Centre podcast series. Welcome to Footy Centre podcast series.
Ladies and gentlemen, it's match day.
Hello, and thank you very much for joining us on FC Pitchside Podcast. My name is Thierry, and thank you, for joining us on yet another episode. And there wouldn't be a more controversial week than this in the English Premier League. But it's a league full of drama, so you never know. But all the drama happening at two different grounds. But of course, the focus will be at Stamford Bridge. We'll be starting there. But before we do that, let me introduce my people for the day. And it is Sicho Atrim and Ajo. Guys, you're welcome to another episode. How are you doing today?
By God's grace, we did fine.
Well, I'm doing well.
Oh, but why are your energy day down like that?
Great. I'm doing great.
You're doing great. Charlie, today I see say your backgrounds change. I see say Estevano did the back again. Ajo.
They call them upgrading.
Upgrade. So you move from Esteval to Curtains. That'd be the upgrade.
Esteban no pay me this week, so
Right. Sicho. How have you been? How's the week gone?
No, I've been good. Lots of lovely games to follow. The drama keeps unfolding. So yeah, I've been good.
Good. So, like I said, the drama has been biting us left, right, center. And just a couple of hours or a few hours before we shoot this on Sunday, and of course, we're shooting this around 5 p.m. GMT, news was that the PGMOL have released a statement that they have admitted that the decision to cancel the Fulham goal against Chelsea because of the foot on Chalobah that was deemed reckless and careless by the referee and the VAR was incorrect. That is definitely, one of the biggest conversations in the last couple of days, and we are definitely going to be starting at Stamford Bridge. Ideally, Chelsea versus Fulham shouldn't be the biggest talking point on the weekend where Liverpool and Arsenal play, but it has been, and it is because of the manner Chelsea won. I mean, Chelsea fans would say, well, they won cleanly because they scored 2 clean goals with no problems there. But, the conversation has been about major decisions within the game that maybe could have helped Chelsea to win. But they would not care. So let me start with Ajo. Ajo, you're a Chelsea boy. What did you make of the two decisions? The first one, of course, being the foot on Chalobah in a build-up to the goal, the first goal by Fulham, which was cancelled. And then the second being Pedro's alleged handball, and in a few seconds later, Chalobah hitting the ball, against Tete's outstretched arm. What do you make of the two decisions? Wrong?
Well, first of all, I felt bad for the kid, King, because
Right.
I profiled him in like recent weeks, and I was saying he's a very, very good profile for the Martin for Fulham. But I was gutted for him not to get his goal. But let's be honest here. I think the foul on Chalobah, on social media, it really became a topic because it was Chelsea. Trust me. I'm being honest here. It became a topic because it was Chelsea. Had it been any other club,
Mm-hmm.
this wouldn't be a conversation. This same Chelsea
Mm.
Football Club, we've had
Mm-hmm.
issues against us that no referee, no PG,
Mm.
whatever MMOL comes out and come and tell us that, oh, Charlie, they come do more extra investigation about them. Yes, I feel bad for the guy. But what Chalobah do once his leg is being stepped on? What were you expecting him to do? How will he get fouled? How will he be focused on the striker trying to get him fouled before he played the ball? So for me, I feel like, yes, I felt bad for the guy, but it went to VAR, and VAR said there was a foul. I have some pictures here that I wish that we can put on the screen. Yeah, that people will see that for Chelsea at Stamford Bridge,
We'll put that on the screen anyway, so
good.
don't worry.
They've not been fair
I
to
mean, your
Chelsea.
pictures, yeah.
Yes, they've not been fair to Chelsea. Chelsea versus West Ham, Suchek. What a keeper. He saved that ball with his arms. This same EPL said no, it's not. It's not. This same referee said it's not a penalty. Chelsea versus Arsenal, FA Cup final, Kovacic. He stepped on the Arsenal player's foot, but they told us that it's a foul against Kovacic. We lost that final. Chelsea versus United, Zuma. Then stamp Zuma in tie. They say it's not a foul. So
What's the point here?
yeah, I'm coming to that. I'm saying that against Chelsea, if today they are favoring Chelsea fans will be happy about it. Chelsea fans won't like, okay, let's say for me, as a fan, I'm saying it's not a foul, it's a foul. Okay, maybe the goals will not stand. But as a Chelsea fan, I've gone through enough pain from these same referees. They are not consistent. Yeah, they're not consistent
So to you, it is justice served.
yeah, they are not consistent in the EPL. So as a fan, what should I say about it? But because it's Chelsea, that become a whole brouhaha. Mourinho said this, that everything about Chelsea, they want to stress it. We don't have a representative talking about Chelsea in this high profile Sky Sports, ESPN. We don't have Chelsea people there. So it's always stuff against Chelsea. Let's say it's a foul. What can we do about it as fans? We can't do anything about it. But Chelsea has not been served right for so many games.
Sicho, I've had some analysis and review about this conversation, and ex players saying when they played decades ago, this was absolutely not a foul. There were worse tackles than this, but this has become the norm in football. And when a player's foot is stepped on anywhere on the pitch, it is a foul. And even though so it looks like maybe the referee's explanation is what's made this blow out of proportion. I don't know what you think, because he says it was careless, whereas the reasoning that he chose was careless, but it wasn't a careless tackle, as we all saw. But is this a foul? Even in the most minimal way, is this a foul?
No, look, I don't think it's a foul. For me, football is a contact sport, and and that's why most of the time people say that you need people who have played the sport before to be in those VAR rooms to tell these referees how football is played. Because when you look at what happened, as soon as the player is turning, he's planting his leg in the most natural place. Unfortunately for Chalobah, his leg is in the exact spot that the player can only plant his leg. So if the player was extending his leg, he was raising it, the movement of his leg wasn't natural, then I can understand why you call it a foul.
Yeah.
But again,
it
wasn't dangerous play because the leg is not, his studs are not going into his shin. It's not going into his thigh. It didn't look like it was over the ball. The leg was going to go straight into the turf, into the pitch, where you would expect the player to plant his leg after he made the turn. So I don't think that was a foul. I didn't think there was any dangerous play in there. I didn't think it was careless. There wasn't anything else the Fulham player could have done. So, but for me again,
thank you, Sichu.
It is the use of VAR that is the problem, because why would anybody in the VAR room look at how that thing happened and call the referee to rethink his decision? Because the referee had seen something happening in the game live. He allowed it to go on and saw the goal happening. Then somebody in VAR tells the referee that we think that you've missed something. Why would anybody in the VAR room think that thing was something the referee missed? The referee had to go and have a second look at it. I think
the only thing I'll add to that. I know it's very natural for everybody to blame the VAR. I will blame the referee. I don't think it's a foul. I think, like you explained, the natural position where the foot would land, and that's where it landed, and that's given. It's fine.
Yeah.
Where I think the problem is referees are now becoming very dependent on the re-refereeing by the VAR.
100%.
When VAR calls you, VAR has seen something. It is their mandate to alert the referee to what they have seen. You know what? We think there might be another angle to this. Can you just take a look? Why can't the referee just stay true to their decisions? You know what? I saw this in real time, and I don't think this is a foul. It goes on. I think VAR did its part. I understand. VAR didn't ultimately make the decision. VAR called the referee to have a second look. The referee decides that the decision I initially took I'm cancelling because I've seen different angles in slow motion and in pictures, and I think that it was reckless.
Yeah. So I'm not saying VAR is making those decisions. What I'm saying is, I get it, and I've always said that referees should be able to be bold enough to stand by their call. But again, Thierry,
right?
When those replays are being shown to the referees in the different angles and in the slow motions, it gives and paints another picture altogether. So in real time, the referee sees something.
Exactly.
Then in slow motion, he sees another thing. And it always looks worse in slow motion. My point is, you are an official in the VAR room. You would know as well what that tackle is. My point is, once you bring the referee to come and look at the screen again, you're already giving the referee two things to think about. The referee now has to doubt his own
psychologically,
psychologically. So for me, and again, the other thing for me is, I mean, Ajo is a Chelsea fan. I mean, he said what Chelsea fans have been dealt. Look, every club has suffered a terrible call via VAR or by referees. I don't think that it's a Chelsea matter or it's an Arsenal matter or Liverpool or Man United matter. I think that the whole Premier League as a whole have to look at themselves again, because season in, season out, they don't seem to be improving as far as officiating is concerned. And it's a shame. And when we get to Manchester United, I know we'll talk about that, because there was another incident I never really understood how they could make a blunder out of that. But ultimately, I thought that should have been a clean goal, and a goal changes games. But in the end, Chelsea did well to deserve the win. But who would know the results if that goal stood from clean?
You see, to add to what he's saying, Nyan, you see,
right.
If this ball was in the box, we are not having the discussion. It's a penalty. So why are people?
I've seen a lot of people ask that question. You know, if this happened in the box, would this even be up for contention? Blah blah blah.
So we want the EPL referees to be consistent for us, and they are trying to be. And now, because I feel like, because it is Chelsea, it has to be a discussion. That is why I feel bad about this. It always has to be Chelsea. Chelsea has been served badly when it comes to VAR results. You see, in this, let's go into the game. In this first half, credit to Marco Silva for what he was doing, but I admire him a lot. But even him, for the first time, I saw his biggest weakness: emotions. The sense that he became so emotional throughout the game. He wasn't focusing on the game. Second half,
I remember tweeting about that, because I don't think
came to cook him. You were cooking Maresca. When it comes to this coach Maresca, he's always offering good. He matched him boot for boot. By this situation, he became so emotional. Chelsea had a very, very funny first half, but in that funny first half, Chelsea were able to manage the game.
All right, let's move on to the result itself, guys. Let's move on to the result itself. The decision, out of the way, Chelsea still were able to secure a 2-0 win. João Pedro with yet another goal, guys. Obviously, it's just 3 games into the season, but what do you think about Chelsea's form going into the season, and do you think it's going to be a better season than the last?
Yeah, like I was saying, I mean, we didn't have a good first half. But even in that first half, I picked something for Maresca and what he does. When he meets a coach that the coach is equally too good. Last week I said, if you want to beat Chelsea, you have to have a good coach. Silva is not a bad coach. So he was to man up to the plan Maresca came with. So in the first half, Maresca managed the game. He managed the game. He left possession for Fulham. They were managing the game, even though Enzo was not even playing so well. Moises was trying to help the defense. They managed the game, got that set piece goal. Last week we spoke about set pieces. This week Chelsea has scored again. So Cueva, big ups to him again. The Mexican set piece coach. He's doing a good job for Chelsea when it comes to set pieces. And now we came to the second half. We controlled the game and managed the game and got the results. Now in the EPL, Slot is managing games. Chelsea is managing games. Mikel knows how to manage games. I feel like, if you don't know how to manage games, you won't get results. If you can't manage games, top 4, you be part of that conversation. if you can't manage games. Because Maresca keeping the ball alone, he's managing the game for his club.
So how well did Ruben Amorim manage the game between Man United and Burnley?
He
Sicho,
didn't.
I'll have.
We forget they will talk about it. He couldn't.
So Sicho, let me have your take on the Man United against Burnley game. I saw you had a lot to say on Twitter. What was it what were your thoughts on that particular performance, considering Man United allowed Burnley back into the game twice before stealing the win in the very last minutes of the game?
Well, look, it was an improved performance of what we saw against Grimsby, and at times what we saw
Right.
against Fulham, because they looked sharper in the final third. They created a lot of openings and they created a lot of chances. He used Mbeumo well to stretch Burnley a lot of times. So when Man United were clustering the midfield, Mbeumo was the outlet for most of the time. So Mbeumo would hack the line, the long switches would go to Mbeumo, and so we saw him create a lot of problems for Burnley. But one thing that was clear was that whatever midfield that he picks, once the ball leaves the attacking phase, it is easy for the opponent to confront Manchester United. And we also know that they have their own deficiencies in defending set pieces, whether long throwing from the close to the corner flag, or when balls are whipped into the box. Once they have to defend anything coming from the wide area, they struggle to do it. But of course, he would take the victory, because any win at all, maybe he would hope that we would lift the momentum in the side. And I think that it was just one of those games that it could have gone anywhere. And that is why, even though Man United won, you can be happy you won. Yes, I get that. But there are lots of signs in the team that better teams won't let you get back at them in the way Man United did. Because when you're at home and you miss some of the chances they missed, and you concede the kind of goals they conceded, you normally will not walk away with 3 points. But it was Burnley,
Right.
and their lack of recent Premier League experience came to the fore. They made a couple of mistakes too, and Man United at Old Trafford punished them.
The last
But
one
at the
was
moment-
a stupid mistake.
Yeah, it was a
Last
stupid mistake.
tackle. I mean,
and
the pulling of
the
the shirt
pull
was
from
stupid,
Anthony.
stupid.
Yeah. And the other thing too is that when Burnley scored and made it 1-1, they just went off. And that is how Brian Mbeumo got the 2-1. A lot of very top teams are not going to concede right after scoring goals. But the point is, when you look at how bad Man United have been playing, especially in the game against Fulham in the second half, in the game against Grimsby, this game, the performance wasn't necessary. All they had to do was to win.
Mm-hmm.
And I can understand that sometimes for some teams. Sometimes all you need to do is to win, to take some pressure off. And once that pressure maybe goes off, you can begin to start looking at performances. So I get that Amorim's team just needed to win against Burnley, take the international break, maybe look at how they started the season, come back and see how far or what improvement they can bring into the team.
Well, Ajol,
Yeah.
so let's discuss Ruben Amorim then, because he this week.
And Thierry, sorry, I was going to say that. Sorry, Ajol, Thierry, I was going to say again about the officiating. The reason I wanted to bring that one in was, Burnley scored a goal that was disallowed for offside.
Offside.
Where the striker,
my God, that is
dribbled,
one of the yeah.
Yes, when the striker dribbled, and again, Bundesliga, Serie A, French League A, even the Saudi Pro League, all of them have used the semi-automated offside technology to perfection. The Premier League said it was offside. Then the video they showed to the fans on television to tell us that it was offside, both players were behind the offside line with the semi-automated offside machine. Now I'm looking at it and I'm thinking, where is the offside? You're not giving us any offside angle.
Yeah.
Both players are behind the line.
Yeah.
So Burnley would also feel hard done by,
Yeah.
because that might as well have been a goal. And from the naked eye, that for me didn't look like an offside. And the automated offside technology didn't also prove that it was offside.
Yeah. That is a very, very good observation. And in the end, they said it was the very edge of the shirt that was off. And you see, when the offside rule was created, it was to prevent, and maybe a lot of people have lost the real meaning of the offside. It was to prevent attackers from having an advantage in attacking areas. How is the hem of my shirt supposed to give me an advantage?
So prove it. They couldn't prove it. They couldn't prove it.
Exactly. You want an offside for me to be a meter away from the defender. Then you know it's an offside. Not when my fingertip is off and you want to draw a line, fingertip. I mean, come on. Technology is basically ruining the game. But anyway, technology cannot ruin Amorim's career at Man United. It's going to be his system and it's going to be his players.
Unless he uses it himself. But yeah, I think, again, I keep saying when I watch him play against any coach, I tend to like the coach more. Scott Parker has had a funny career so far, traveling around Europe trying to get his craft together. He went to Holland, it didn't really work out. He came to EPL, had some spell with Spurs. But I like how he keeps possession of the ball. He has an average team. Most players are below average, but he wants to keep the ball. When he has the ball, he has a plan. He was managing the game better than Ruben Amorim. Like I was saying, if you can't manage games, you are nowhere near being in the top 4 this season. Even if you have quality. So I was looking at the mind was like, they need a midfielder. And I was like, no. Even if you bring Amorim a midfielder, will he improve on his in-game management? But Mount went out of the game. He brought Zeski. Zeski was funny when he came on for the first 20 minutes. Sesko was still on the bench. Are you ruining his confidence, or you want to beef up his confidence going forward? Because he's a fresh player, 80 million plus. He has to be playing games. People fly from where they are, come new club, then they are playing right from the word go. So Amorim, I'm not seeing. I see that the boys want to prove something. When they play at Old Trafford, they want to feed the fans something positive. And this is the coach on the touchline. It's a penalty. I wait to give you. You don't watch some things. How will you grab the fine margins in the EPL? So how are you coaching the team? Where are the emotions coming from? Whilst you're on the touchline, you have to watch to get every detail. Maybe your assistant coach won't pick such details, so you have to watch. No, what he say. I don't know what he's trying to do, or he's acting on the sideline.
For me, I think his lowest point this week was when against Grimsby, things weren't going well, and he took that tactical whatever it was. It was against Grimsby, Amorim. Like, this is not Man United against Bayern Munich. How are you moving objects on a table around?
He's playing Ludo.
That in any way affects whatever that is. It's a big flex if you do that and you win against Real Madrid. Yeah. It's a big flex if you do that and you win against Liverpool.
That board at the Bernabeu.
You don't pull that board at Grimsby. Especially when it also goes on to penalties. And I think that was like one of his... And it's become a generational meme now. Now, different things are put in place of that, whatever tactical board it was. Anyway, we've done 21 minutes on the English Premier League alone. That's crazy. And we still have 3 big games to look at. I would just mention the Spurs versus Bournemouth game and say Thomas Frank has lost his first game in charge of Tottenham Hotspur. It was always going to happen at some point. And I'm not surprised that it happened at the hands of Bournemouth. But let's look at the other 2 big games. One of you will pick the other and not discuss the other. Okay. And so maybe I would make Sicho look at the City results for me against Brighton. Pep Guardiola, this is a second loss in the Premier League this season. First against Spurs at home, and then this one against Brighton at the Amex. He's continuing the kind of form that we saw last season that saw him plummet so low in the table and eventually, began climbing up. What's happening with Pep and City, if you can summarize within 2 minutes?
I did say in the game against Wolverhampton Wanderers that they did look good, but that was against Wolves. We know Wolves are a poor side. They've lost quality players. They didn't replace them well. They were always going to struggle. And probably they are one of those teams that are going to be contending for relegation. So I didn't place a lot of premium on that performance when they dispatched Wolves in the manner in which they did. The real test for me was going to come against teams that I thought had all the arsenals to head City where I think they are vulnerable. And that is why I think City are vulnerable. When Pep Guardiola's system used to really work or was really tormenting teams in the Premier League, apart from the ability of some of the players he had attributes that you don't necessarily buy with quality. A player needs to have it with quality. And that attribute was in his fullbacks, or at least one of his fullbacks. So when City was very dynamic and City could press teams high and City could commit bodies forward, one of the things City always had...
Kyle Walker would always be the one.
Kyle Walker always had enough pace to burn. So when City were caught on the break, Kyle Walker would always break his neck to gallop and close down the space City were losing. And at times, Ake, when he came to City, also looked the part. Very physical. He's not slow himself. He can match up against a lot of wingers in the Premier League or across Europe. But from last season, you realize that Kyle Walker was not the same player anymore. Kyle Walker left on loan. Nathan Ake didn't see a lot of games. Rico Lewis is a good footballer, but doesn't have the same physicality and pace. Nunes, if he plays there, is the same. Vardio is physical, he's good. He doesn't have the same best of pace. So when teams, and City's football is very dependent on how much advancement some of those wide players can make into midfield to push the number 8 into the half spaces or push the wide players further up the pitch. So City didn't necessarily replace the pace of Kyle Walker and maybe then the industry of Ake. So if you look at the game against Spurs, how did they concede the first goal? Ball over the top, a little flick, across to the right-hand side of City's defense. If Kyle Walker was there 2 years ago, I guarantee you he's matching Brennan Johnson boot for boot and is probably making the clearance before Brennan Johnson gets there. And now if you look at in the game again against Brighton today, very similar fashion. Once Brighton are breaking down the flank, City do not have any real pace and power and physicality to match it. So in midfield, City can be compact. There's Roddy, there's Reinders. They did well in the middle of the park. But anytime Brighton started using the wide players more, pushing a lot more of their fullbacks, Jacobo Minte, Mitoma, stretching the line, they found problems in dealing with it. And I'm afraid that if City do not necessarily adjust the way they play and keep those fullbacks in position and risk Etnori, Rico Lewis, Matheus Nunes further up the pitch, a lot of teams are going to expose them down the flank like they did last season, and they are in turn going to commit or concede a lot of goals. They didn't also offer so much in attack for Erling Haaland or the attackers. So yeah, credit to Brighton for exposing City in the way they did. Massive, massive win.
All right. So it looks like Pep Guardiola is sinking. We don't know how deep he's going to go. Maybe as low as a Titanic, or maybe it's just going to be a canoe, sink. But whatever it is, we wait to see what happens after the international break. He's got about 2 weeks to fix his team. But it's also not going well for Arsenal because they didn't just lose Saliba to injury to join Saka. Odegaard came back, later on in the game against Liverpool at Anfield, but they still lost due to a masterclass free kick by Szoboszlai. In the end, Liverpool winning by a goal to nil, still staying perfect. The only team that is perfect in the Premier League right now. Ajo, your take on that game?
And this is me saying all the time that I've not seen the Liverpool side being like, they're not winning the games thanks to like coaching. Like, you're not seeing that, okay, this is a team that's, there's a coaching plan here for them. I'm looking at their experience and how they are able to manage games. Today in the midfield, I didn't see McAllister in the game. I was like, where is this guy? Arsenal started the game so brilliantly. You think they will get like first early 2 goals or get their usual corner goals and just kill the game. But it didn't happen like that. Szoboszlai, wow. I'm now feeling the importance of him. They went for loan and bought this guy. And now he's playing as a right back for now. As a right back to him. And in the second half, he was even inverting to the midfield, creating spaces for Salah. And you see, Henry, Mo Salah, when you touch on Mo Salah, fans become angry. He will be in the game for like 80 minutes. You won't see him. Today, I was so happy Chiesa took on that shot personally for himself because they will play all the football and go and pass the ball to Mo Salah. And Mo Salah will just score and just be trending. No, he doesn't contribute. Today, he was the reason why Szoboszlai had to do a lot alone at the right back position. I think Slot, he has just built this thing where he knows how to manage the games and bring in subs that will just secure the win for him. He's winning the game. We are not seeing Liverpool play some beautiful football. They're just getting the results done. Today, I feel like Kekes was brilliant for me on the day too. Now he's getting used to defending and also surging forward a lot. And that's a plus for Liverpool. But Gavin Ben, if they don't get a backup for him, I know Endo is there, but I don't think Endo can play 5 games and be consistent. If they don't get a backup for him, now he's off the ball, committing himself more to yellow cards. And that can bring injuries too. When he gets injured, to be a problem for Liverpool. I think now he's the system. He's the crown jewel of their team. When he's not there, they cannot operate, they cannot function well. Not Salah, not Van Dijk for me. Now it's
but Salah for the last year or so has been very quiet in games, but his numbers obviously telling his legendary story.
I don't like that from a winger. That's his style. I don't like that style. So I like him. He has achieved a lot, but I'm not a Salah guy but I don't like my football that way. You have to be involved in the game. Today,
he's very rarely in the game, but
Yeah,
he has his moments. But
multi-passing.
also Liverpool players, fans, so sorry, will tell you all they want is magical moments from their players. You know, you don't necessarily need a
But
player
it still needs
to
you
be a
when
superstar.
you have to control games. But they win a lot, so you can't say to that. I feel like Mendy was also good for Arsenal. Arsenal, they were not bad, but I said something last week. When you are bringing Izzy on, don't bring Izzy to play left wing. He has to be central, and I'm waiting for that day. We'll have this conversation where Odegaard and Izzy, who should play number 10. I'm waiting because it will come. I know that Mikel will not bench Odegaard when he's fit.
No, he's a captain. He cannot be benched.
But you have to get out balls and put him in a position where he can feed your career. Your had just 2 touches in the first half, 2.
But I also see games where the two of them can play together. I mean, when you're playing against Premier League teams who do not want to come
That'll
out
be on the
against
left
you
wing,
or not
right?
attack. No, I mean, two central midfielders and playing
Double
Zubimendi.
tens.
Sorry, Eze and Odegaard and playing a double 10 and playing Zubimendi behind them. You know,
But
when
for
you
me,
know you are
the
going to
reason
be
why
controlling the ball
Mikel still
anyway.
plays, the reason why Mikel still plays Martinelli is that Martinelli will track back and help Calafiori. He invites Calafiori. He moves into the half spaces too often. It creates space for the opponent to exploit that right left side, and that's
Right.
where Martinelli often tracks back to help. If you put Eze there, he won't track back and help.
Okay.
Arsenal might start conceding goals and also
Right.
scoring goals too. So it's something that Mikel should watch out for. But today, brilliant game from the brilliant free kick from the guy. So almost like I like his style. I like how he plays his football.
Oh yeah, it was a really good goal.
Super
Really good goal.
Yeah.
At the end of the game, Ekitike was bowing to him, sort of like saying, you know, you are the royal of
And
this team.
Henry, if you are not careful,
Mhm.
Tijo, if you are not careful, Liverpool might go unbeaten at home this season.
Unbeaten at home is very possible.
Yeah.
Anfield is a very difficult ground to go to. Unbeaten at home is very possible.
Imagine
I thought you were about to say
Yeah.
if you're not careful, they'll retain the title. And even that is very possible.
You see, okay, if they don't lose away games too, they might go unbeaten generally. They'll try to equal what Asamoah.
I don't think that's possible. You know why?
But-
Liverpool are very shaky. I think that unbeaten.
Anfield to be difficult to beat them.
Yeah, Anfield will be very difficult, but away, I think they are shaky. Anyway, let's move away from that. And so after 3 games heading into the first international break of the season, Liverpool stay top with 9 points. Chelsea as second with 7 points. Arsenal are third with 6 points. Same points as Tottenham Hotspur, Everton, Sunderland, Bournemouth, in that particular order. And so we wait to see. But just so you know, Manchester United are 8th and 9th, depending on how results go for Crystal Palace.
They are ahead of Man City. So
Particular match day. They are very, very much ahead of Man City. And you know, it could be a very, very good season for a lot of clubs, but it would all depend on how the remaining fixtures happen for everyone. Let's move on from there. We go for a quick break. When we come back, it's going to be the UEFA Champions League.
This is the FC Pitchside Podcast, the first in an exciting lineup of podcasts by Footy Centre. Footy Centre is where you'd read your intriguing opinions and daily stories about football. From Europe's biggest leagues, the Champions League, international matches, and for Ghanaian fans, get closer to your favorite national teams.
Welcome back to FC Pitchside Podcast with me, Thierry Nyan. And just to run through a couple of your comments from last week, this one, and again, the comments on YouTube. This comment from Sylvester Owusu says, just subscribed, watching from Takoradi. Thank you very much, Sylvester. Hopefully you continue to stay with us. This one from Ablekumanana Lace says, from playback, Ajo can attest. I don't know what this means. Ajo, what does this person mean?
That's my streaming platform.
Oh, right.
One of the boys from there. They've been watching.
Right. So your fans are following you wherever you go, and that's good. Anyway, remember you can always subscribe to our channel. Please like and leave a comment as well. It's going to go a long way to help us continue to bring you more quality analysis and videos like this. Big thanks to Sicho and Ajo, and of course, big shouts to Jonathan Mensah, who is still attending to a few emergency issues with family. We hope to have him here with us next week. But anyway, let's move on from there and go straight to the UEFA Champions League, because the draw happened on Thursday and some big fixtures are to be expected in the next few months. Let's walk through some of the fixtures as it is. So let's pull this one out. All right. So the pot one teams, Real Madrid, will be playing against Man City, Juventus, Marseille, AS Monaco, Liverpool, Benfica, Olympiacos, and Kairat Almaty. That is where Mbappe scores 10 goals in one game. There is Manchester City playing against Borussia Dortmund, Bayern Leverkusen, Napoli, Galatasaray, Real Madrid, Villarreal, Bordeaux, and then Monaco. Liverpool play against Real Madrid, Atletico Madrid, PSV, and Hoiven, Karabakh. Also, Inter Milan, Eintracht Frankfurt, Marseille, Galatasaray, PSG. The defending champions will play against Bayern Munich, Atlanta, Spurs, Newcastle. Barcelona, Bayern Munich, Sporting Lisbon, and Athletic Club de Bilbao. You see all these fixtures on your screen as I mentioned them. Let me move straight to some of the other big ones. All right, so Chelsea will play against Barcelona, Benfica, Ajax. They'll play against Paphos, Bayern Munich, Atlanta, Napoli, Karabakh. And then Barcelona play against PSG, Eintracht Frankfurt, Olympiacos, Copenhagen, Chelsea, Club Brugge, Slavia Prague, and then Newcastle United. Arsenal play against Bayern Munich, Atletico Madrid, Olympiacos, Kairat Almaty, Inter Milan, Club Brugge, Slavia Prague, and Athletic Club de Bilbao. And then Manchester United will play against nobody. They opted out of the draw because they know they don't belong. So these are the fixtures, at least for the top sides. Guys, I want us to discuss. We can't discuss all of them for the sake of time. But which team do you think has the toughest fixtures?
For me, I'm looking forward to Chelsea, Barca, Chelsea, Bayern. Chelsea will travel to Italy twice.
So do you think Chelsea has the toughest fixtures?
Yeah,
because that was my question.
Yeah, very tricky. Yeah, tough for Chelsea.
You think Chelsea has the toughest fixtures?
Chelsea, Barca, Chelsea, Bayern, Chelsea, Napoli. They are crazy matches.
Yeah, Napoli away is definitely. I think Napoli away will be the biggest, most difficult game.
Because look now, Chelsea has not been there for some time. So when they are coming back, it'll be kind of tricky for them. I can't wait for the Barca game though.
Yeah, Sicho, which one do you think is the toughest? Which team do you think has the toughest run in the league?
To be fair, I think for the pot one, all of them have got very fairly decent, run-ups coming up for them, really. But when you look at it, listen, in the form in which City have started showing, I think, okay, you're asking about toughest, but I thought City's draw is very kind to them. It's very fair. But when I look at the one that Chelsea have got as well, I agree with Ajo, is also very tough. But I won't discount what PSG has got, because PSG have got to play against Bayern. They've got Barcelona to play, Atalanta, Liverpool, and Spurs. They've got Sporting, Newcastle, Athletic Club. I think that one could also be tricky, because last season we saw PSG. It was second after the season that they started playing really well. This season, until this weekend game, they didn't look the same PSG. But we can say maybe because they didn't have the preseason.
They are conceding goals. PSG are conceding goals.
Yeah, but maybe
they consider 3 against to lose this weekend.
Yeah, maybe the excuse would be that the first game they played this season, or they played post the Club World Cup, was the game against Spurs in the Super Cup. So maybe they are still in their pre-season-ish, mood. So maybe we'll find a proper PSG team after the international break. So maybe their games can also look like, games that will be captivating to watch.
Yeah.
That's interesting. Who do you guys? I mean, after the fixtures have been released, which of the teams do you think qualify in the top 8? Automatic qualification.
I think most of the big boys will do well. I see City struggling to make the playoff. I don't know. Yeah, I won't be surprised.
They struggled last season, even when at the time their form was decent.
Likely to struggle again. I expect Madrid to do well. I mean, have a better UCL campaign, the group stages than the La Liga. So for me, I'm going for City. City will kind of struggle. And
I
Spurs,
don't think City struggles though, because you know why? Because I think the most difficult fixture there for them will be Real Madrid.
Yeah.
but
City's
Leverkusen
draw is
are
very kind.
extremely
in the
shaky.
Champions League this month,
City's draw is extremely kind. Dortmund and Leverkusen are the easiest fixtures you can get in the Champions League.
but they can be stressed in away games. Looking at how Pep likes
Their away games are Real Madrid, Villarreal, Bodo, and Monaco. They beat Monaco easily.
You can't just ride over Villarreal. You know that. Yeah. Look at how they started the season. I think some of the small teams will give them a match.
Yeah,
Because
Villarreal
Pep
are
likes
looking
Bodo,
good. Man
Bodo
City
cannot
have
give
enough
them.
firepower too.
Bodo Glimt will not give them.
but Villarreal.
Yeah, Villarreal can trouble them. And at home, they play against Dortmund, Leverkusen. Napoli will be a struggle a bit, but even that is a home game. Galatasaray, they win.
That's a game. Antonio Conte.
But Galatasaray can also be difficult. I mean,
Exactly.
they signed some
have
really
to
good
see
players.
They can be tricky, but
Yeah,
they never really
they
get
have
to
some
show
really
And
good
they have
players.
tricky
their
games to
quality in
play.
Europe.
And
They
Pep
flat
has
to
to see.
deceive. I don't
I
know
don't like how Pep
if
is
you can
just
count on them this season. I will see.
today. You rotated Diaz. You brought on Nunes. Meanwhile, some of the players, the backline, you don't change the backline just like that.
Yeah, I think Pep for the first time in his career is rattled, and now he's forced to try so many different things. Look at how many times he's swapping goalkeepers, and he still wants to sign Donnarumma. And Pep has always wanted a goalkeeper that knows how to play with his feet. Donnarumma is known as the shot stopper who is not exactly good with his feet. And it's like now he's rattled, he's desperate, he's looking for options everywhere, and he's trying so many different things.
Like all our goals are going off very soon. All our goals, the Messi, the Ronaldo, the Mourinho, the Pep, all of them. I think maybe it's that time.
But Ronaldo, Messi, Jose Mourinho have been off the top markets for a while. So Pep is the latest to follow them. Ancelotti is also leaving. Remember, Ancelotti is also going with Janico national team. Anyway, so that is it then with the Champions League. Unless you guys have anything to add to what we've already touched on,
no,
guys.
No, not
Great.
I like the advert that came from Zlatan doing the draw. That's his branding. If we can learn it here in Africa, it's going to help us a lot. But that's a convo for a different day. So let's move on.
Yeah, actually, yeah, it's a conversation for another day. But we definitely will be touching on some of these things on this podcast. Let's look at some transfer stories, guys. Have we discussed Nicholas Jackson? Have we?
We have to, because it's still trending. It's crazy.
So Nicholas Jackson. So the story is, Chelsea and him decided to part ways after the Club World Cup, especially after Chelsea signed João Pedro and Delap, and Pedro was scoring goals and Delap was starting games ahead of him. He decided he wanted to go. He told the club says, okay, we're going to look for a club for you, or if you find a club, you're going to go. The right fee, though, has to come in. And for what was going to be a record loan fee, never seen before,
Crazy.
for one season, Nicholas Jackson was going to Bayern Munich for a loan fee of 15 million euros, which was like 13 million pounds.
Oh, yeah.
But in the 11th hour, Chelsea have decided to cancel or put that deal on hold. And the reason is Delap suffered a hamstring injury in Chelsea's game against Fulham. That keeps him out of football action for about 8 weeks. And what that means is that Chelsea are going to only have Pedro for 8 weeks with all the competitions they have to play as the leading striker. And that might put a lot of strain on him. We also saw what happened last season when it was just Nicholas Jackson. Chelsea do not want to take chances at the Champions League this time. And so they say, we need another player. And if we have a player that has not yet signed a contract for a new club, why don't we call him back? Nicholas Jackson and his agent say, well, the plane does not return, as his agent put on social media. And so Nicholas Jackson has become the hottest property in the last 2 days of the transfer window. Who would have thought? Situ, I'll start with you on this particular one. What are your thoughts on Nicholas Jackson, Chelsea, Bayern Munich, all this saga?
I feel sorry for Nicholas Jackson in the position that he's been put in this whole situation. But if you set aside emotions and you look at it practically, business-wise, efficiency, effectiveness, administrative decisions, I cannot fault Chelsea. Because Chelsea were happy to let him go on loan because they had Delap, they had Pedro, João Pedro, and João Pedro. So those two were good enough in their opinion to cover the front line, right? Then unfortunately, as soon as he gets on the plane, he's in the air going to Munich, Delap pulls his hamstring. By the time he lands in Munich, Chelsea know Delap is going to be out for a lot of minutes, a lot of months or weeks. So Chelsea straight away know that, okay, then all of a sudden we don't have enough in that position to take us through the period that Delap is going to be missing. So we need to do something. Exactly. We either have to go to the market and bring a replacement for him, but who can we get
Right.
to match our quality and fit the profile of players we want? All right, there's nobody in the market. Hang on. We still own a player who we are just asking to go on loan. Is the deal done? No. Can we get our player back? Yes. Phone to Jackson's agent. Hello, we know you're in Munich, but we need you back in London because we need Jackson to play in the position that we thought we had covered. So you feel sorry for Jackson because he's going to Bayern Munich. He's happy. He wants to maybe go and experience another life. He thinks he's going to see a lot more of games. He's probably going to win the Bundesliga with Bayern Munich. But when it comes to being ruthless as a business, being ruthless as a football club, I think Chelsea have made the right call. It might look a bit harsh. It might look a bit disappointing to the player. But in business, when you need to make the right call, something has to give. And what has given now is Jackson's will to have gone to Bayern Munich. But Chelsea need to also then look at themselves and look at what is best for them. And I think at the moment they are making the best decision to recall Jackson. I get that Jackson doesn't want to be there because he feels like you didn't want me a couple of hours ago. Now you want me back to the club. I don't want to be there. But he doesn't have that right because he still has a contract with the club. The club were looking to sell him. The club was looking to loan him unless he wants to go on strike like we've seen Isak and then Brentford's Juan Wissa. But yeah, I think that Chelsea have made the right call.
So news coming through in the last 1 hour says that Nicolas Jackson has remained in Germany in an attempt to revive his move to Bayern Munich, but Chelsea are willing to consider only a permanent deal and want to sign a replacement if the striker leaves. Jackson was given permission to fly to Munich on Saturday after Bayern reached an agreement on loan with an option to buy for 65 million euros. However, Chelsea contacted the German club to inform them that they were pulling out of the deal, which we've already mentioned. Now, it looks like Jackson is playing hardball. He wants to stay in Germany. And Chelsea are saying, we can allow you to stay, but Bayern Munich then need to buy you outright. No more loan. Buy you outright so we can use the money in the next few hours to sign someone else.
And you see, Henry, Chelsea are even telling Bayern that.
No, go on.
Oh, finish. Oh, finish for me.
No, I don't go on. I mean, I've had my turn. I was just going to chip in a comment. Go on.
Okay.
I'm sure
so
by the time you're done, I've even said what I'm going to say.
Chelsea's even saying that even if you bring, let's change the clause, let's make it an obligation to buy. Next thing you can pay us, then keep the player.
Yeah.
What's for a minimal low fee? So I think Jackson's agent, Kamara, he's been annoying. We feel bad for Jackson. Emotionally, he's drained. We understand. It's not the best for him. Now, Chelsea didn't send him to the B squad or the bomb squad. He was training with the first team. Maresca admires him. Maresca said in the press conference that if he doesn't go, I have plans for him. Luckily for you, you've got him Bayern to go and play. And even for my detailed research, Jackson was going to be as a left winger at Bayern. And he has said yes to going to be tried as a wing forward or a left winger, give them different variation options at left wing. That's why he was going. Now they have contacted Lukman. And the Bayern Munich director came out and said that he's not our player. We've been informed that he should return back to Germany. So we can't do anything about it. Luckily for Chelsea didn't sign any document. They just gave you permission to go to Germany and do the medicals. Maybe after the game, they'll forward all the documents signed to you, Bayern Munich. They didn't sign any documents. So why is that his agent? An agent who claims to have experience. You go on social media, you're talking plenty Kamara. Meanwhile, he has two agents, Kamara and Ali Bara. Bara is dealing with Chelsea, and he is calm. He is returning to London to talk to Chelsea. You are still in Germany with the Kamara guy, and he's talking plenty. I Jackson, calm down. This thing will be resolved. You'll be fine. I feel bad for him. I think the best thing is to do that. Just come back to Chelsea. You have friends at Chelsea. The lap is off for a while. You are used to Maresca's system. They all wanted to make money out of you because they bought in two strikers and they want to make profit from you. They bought it for £32 million. They want to get at least 30 million extra from you because they feel like they've improved you. When you were at Villarreal, nobody knew you.
Right.
To some extent, they've built you to some extent. So you calm down. If it was a permanent deal, Chelsea will even call. That, okay, come back. It's a loan deal. And you see people are saying, oh, Chelsea no try. The boy be emotional. We understand that. But these Americans don't care about your emotions. Because
no,
right now, they want to go and do a last minute deal for Femi Lopez. And they've got in the backup if they don't get Femi Lopez. Now they need a number 9. They've called Sporting Lisbon to ask about Harder. Harder is saying now that he wants to go to Liverpool because he has already said yes to them and he wants to develop there. Now Chelsea would like to call Guehi back. Can we keep Guehi?
Which I think is a wrong move.
Yeah, let the guy play. Even the guy there, he has to play more games to get a starting bet. He's not starting games now. So Jackson, I think this is a big chance for you. Look at Chalobah's story. Chalobah redemption. He prayed, he calmed down, he came to Chelsea, he went to win the Club World Cup. He's playing. This Chelsea board, they are ruthless, Henry. So they don't care about your emotions. So I feel like you're still in Germany. Just take the flight and come back, or go to Senegal to go and play the international games and fly back straight to Cuba because you have to come and train. Per the law, per the books, you have to come and train. I feel bad for him. Somebody said Chelsea has not tried emotionally, but I mean, come on. I mean, this is the law. You just have to come back. I'm surprised he has to even sack the Kamara guy. The Kamara guy still will close to him because
sometimes agents can ruin the careers of players, and that's I feel is one of the things that is happening.
If he came from Senegal comes Spain, so he feels like he's entitled to him to some extent.
Yeah,
he has two agents, so he should calm down. He's making things annoying right now, but Jackson will be fine.
Anyway, let's also look at another player that has been circulating for a while. I mean, rumors on him has been circulating for a while. That's Alexander Isak, because currently, going to Liverpool has become on off as it is. Do you guys see him playing for Liverpool next week?
Honestly, it's becoming difficult.
I think I do.
Sorry, did I say next week? After the international break.
It's becoming difficult. There's
probably will. I think Liverpool are going to. Liverpool and Newcastle will do business.
I'm wondering what will he do. People are saying Chelsea will business. Chelsea will go and pay 150 million.
Newcastle as well. Would they need that money to pay Wolverhampton Wanderers for Larson, Strand Larson? So I think it's going to happen because Newcastle can't keep this going. The player has made it clear he doesn't want to play. The player has made it clear he doesn't want to be there. You don't want to keep an unhappy player for that long. So I think that something is going to happen. I think Newcastle are going to sell. I think Liverpool are going to buy him. So yeah, I see him play for Liverpool after the international break.
I don't see Liverpool, Henry. I feel like it's going to be difficult. Less than 48 hours to go. Where will the bid drop? Where will he move to medicals? Where will he join? I feel like it's going to be a stress. I'm wondering, he the player, how will he feel if by close of Monday you're not a Liverpool player?
I think 48 hours is still a good time, for things to happen. We've seen very, very late transfers. It could even happen, hours after the deal, depending on, how paperwork goes and everything. So it could even be sealed and announced Tuesday morning that Isak is a Liverpool player. A lot can happen for Liverpool in the next 48 hours. The fans are very anxious and wait to see how it goes. But we have 5 minutes to discuss the Black Stars because they play against Chad on Thursday in a World Cup qualifier before they play against Monday. We'll be here to discuss the Chad game and also discuss the next one against Mali. But brief thoughts on what we think could happen against Chad, which is an away fixture. We already know the players that have been called up, including Semenyo Kudus, Kamaldeen Sulemana, Thomas Tepate, the likes of Gideon Mensah, Tizigi and Joseph Anang and Benjamin Asari in post. We have the likes of Jordan Ayew, Inaki Williams still in there. Abdul Salih Samet is still in there. I don't agree with that call up, but yeah. Ibrahim Sulemana is also in there. So it's quite a regular call up.
Yeah, the names we are using.
The names are familiar. It's only the left back. What's his name? Bring yourself.
Go on, Derek.
The new left back, Arthur Khan. That is new to the setup, and it looks like he's going to get a debut from Otuado because from all indications, Otuado loves the guy. But anyway, let's see what happens, guys. What do we expect, Sicho?
All right, Ajo, go on.
Yeah. So what I'm going to say is that I feel like the boys will come here and commit for us. They should come here and play. We can win 2 games. Let's win these 2 games. Now we're going to the last round of games relaxed. They have to commit for us. Semenyo, Kudus, they have to show passion for us, especially at Accra. Because they are playing so well for their clubs. Bring that same energy for us here because we want to go to the World Cup. We are all having conversations about the World Cup. They should try for us. I'm even happy Partey is coming. Devoid of all the backdoor stuff he has, to solve. I'm happy he's coming. They should help us. I know by now, you made a call up yourself. You have to mop up a strategy that we can use to beat these two teams easily with less stress. We
Right.
want to have a win away, win home. Let's be happy. Let's go and support our clubs back. We don't want any stress. Only the pitch is a problem and pitch no help player. No. That conversation make it pass. Let's move past that. When they can sleep at Alisa Hotel, we don't go at Alisa Hotel before. They sleep, they have fun, they relax and enjoy. So they should give us some enjoyment. They should win the games. Let's go to the World Cup. It's as simple as that. We expect Otuado to show me that now everybody knows how to play football. So you don't go there and narrate anybody. You have to be prone to details. Don't Amorinize us. Make sure the black very well. So if you want to see details, give us the efficient first 11s, win the game, manage the game, bring on the good subs, win the game big. Let Ghanaians be happy small. Easy for me, bro. Easy.
But Sicho, this is a chart that has 0 points, has lost all their games. Clearly, this is a winnable game.
No, yeah, absolutely. I think it's the most winnable of winnable games. And luckily for the Black Stars, though, the two other teams that are competing with them for the very spot for the World Cup qualification would be playing at the same time on the same day we play Chad. So that is Comoros and Mali. So something will happen there. It's either one team will lose, one they will draw and share the points, or something. So while we pick the 3 points, or while we do our best to pick the 3 points against Chad and extend our lead at the top, Mali and Comoros will also be cancelling each other out via a draw, or one of them dropping points in that fixture. So we desperately need to win that game against Chad, make a statement, come home, and manage that game against Mali. I think that over these 2 games, minimum 4 points would put us in pole position to qualify to the World Cup.
Okay, so remember the game is on Thursday, so we wait to see how that goes. Like I said, we'll be here. The next episode, we'll be discussing the aftermath of that particular game to see what went wrong, what went right, how our players are taking shape under Otuado, and how we are gearing up for the next game on Monday against Mali. We've already beaten Mali by 2-1 in Bamako. So at home, it should definitely be a good one for us. Anyway, let's...
Harry, again, it won't be that simple because they've changed their coach. They've given their coach to Nigeria and they've gone for Tom Sanfé, who really is a top one. So we should quickly forget about that game against them in Bamako because this is a new Mali side. And since he took over the job, they've played differently. But at home,
He wants to win again.
Yes, at home, minimum, we should get a draw after we've beaten Chad, because if we beat Chad and Comoros and Mali do take points off themselves, then we are in pole position to go and get a good point against Mali at home and then see how it goes.
All right. So that would wrap up the conversations for this particular episode. You're still watching FC Pizza Podcast. We are going straight into the quiz. And today we are looking at the zigzag. Today is not Mystery Man. Today is zigzag. So I'm going to be mentioning different clubs that this player has played for. And my 2 guys, the 2 strong, knowledgeable guys, are going to give me who is the winner. Who the player is. You understand what I'm saying?
Crazy.
So guys, Valladolid, Real Madrid, and then Al Rayyan and Bolton Wanderers, where he retired. And I'm saying, he became one of the best ever defenders we've seen in the history of football. I'll give you another clue. He was a centre back.
Higuera?
No. I'll give you another clue. Some say. Did you say Hierro?
Fernando Hierro.
Yes, Fernando Hierro is correct.
Fernando Hierro.
Fernando Hierro. But this is the only time I have asked the question that I feel has been very unfair, because it's so difficult, and it looks like guesswork is what makes Sijo get the answer correct. But anyway, today I'm on Spanish people, so we are going straight to the second guy. This guy started his career very highly rated in Racing Santander, and then he moved to Real Madrid.
Jesse.
No. And then from there he went to Valencia on loan. Then he signed for Valencia because he liked it so much, but he later made his name at Real Sociedad. No. And after Real Sociedad, he moved to Real Betis, and he's currently not even in Spain or Europe. He's playing for Monterrey.
Joaquin.
No.
Hey, that's something.
Today I am pressing your neck.
Wait. Okay,
Who is
so wait. He said he came from Racing Santander,
Racing Santander to Real Madrid.
went to Real Madrid,
And then from
then
there,
to
he went to Valencia.
Valencia, then to
Then from
Sociedad.
Valencia, he went to Sociedad. And then Real Betis. And then Monterrey.
Real Sociedad. The player I was going to say, Rihanna came from Sociedad to Real Madrid. You remember Mendy, the midfielder?
Yeah. No, not him.
Like, you mentioned low profile names.
Again, I'm telling you, everybody that I choose is a popular player.
So no position, no clue for position.
It will give someone an advantage. Okay, let me just say he was a midfielder. Or he is a midfielder because he's not retired.
He's not retired. He's a midfielder.
Yeah. He's currently playing in Monterrey.
Monterrey, US.
Monterrey. No,
Mexican
Mexico.
club Monterrey.
Hey.
With Sergio Ramos. Sergio Ramos can who be friends?
Wait, who play for Real Madrid where they Monterrey midfield? He's a midfielder.
So
Yeah.
the first club.
Very good, very good player. Never really achieved his status at Real
Potential.
Madrid.
The first club again.
Sorry?
The first club again.
Racing Santander.
Racing Santander. And then to Real Madrid, Valencia, Sociedad.
Did he
Betis.
captain Valencia?
No.
Monterrey.
Real Madrid.
Monterrey.
I have somebody in mind, but the person is sure.
Mention. You never know.
Hey, if you're not picky.
That person, the Ramos day so small. I don't know. He knows if I the guy.
Monterrey. Valencia. From Real Madrid to Valencia, right?
Yeah. No. Yeah. From Real Madrid
From
to Valencia on loan. And then later signed for for Valencia. And then he moved from there to Sociedad and then to Betis.
Betis midfielder. 10 times.
You people know him so well.
Betis. Sergio Canales.
Correct.
Isco.
Sergio Canales is correct.
Canales.
Sergio Canales is correct.
Sergio Canales.
Sergio Canales.
Betis.
Sergio Canales is correct.
Betis. I don't want to get to compare.
Sergio Canales. Yeah,
Sergio
bro.
Canales is correct. Sergio Canales is correct.
Wait, is it Sergio or Sergi?
Nah, the
Sergio.
Betis will give me. The Betis will do that thing. Give me. Betis.
Anyway, guys. So I have a striker, a midfielder, and a goalkeeper. Who do you want?
Give me. Let's do goalkeepers. Goalkeepers. Nah.
Let's do goalkeeper.
Goalkeeper. This guy. Nah. I shouldn't have.
Goalkeeper, they will be obvious.
It'd be obvious. It'd be too obvious. It'd be too obvious. Now, I'm not going to tell you who I'm picking, whether it be striker, midfielder, or a goalkeeper. This guy played largely in whole career below. He started play in career for Manfredonia. And then he signed for Rimini. And then from there, he signed for AS Roma. Then that's when the loan began. Galatasaray loan. Siena.
Oh, sorry.
No. Brescia loan. Torino.
Let's
Loan.
keep out.
Livorno loan. Nosirina loan. Genoa, correct deal. Then from Genoa, he moved to Novara on loan. Torino was a good signing. And then Arezzo, also permanent signing.
I'm Bob Laka. Yay!
I'm Bob Sweden. That team's Sweden. Teams. Nova.
But I'm telling you, he's a player you all know. You don't know him because he's a world legend. You know him because he does a few things on the pitch that makes him stand out.
National team.
He's Italian.
He's not Italian.
Spanish.
He's not.
Hey, goalkeeper.
No, I didn't say he's a goalkeeper. I didn't say he's a goalkeeper. I told you people that I am moving. I don't want you people to, because if I say he's a goalkeeper, you will get it.
Oh, what am I uncle?
No.
The clubs again.
In fact, I can give you a clue. He's not a goalkeeper. He's an outfield player. The clubs. Manfredonia, Rimini, Roma, Galatasaray on loan, Siena on loan, Brescia on loan, Torino on loan, Livorno on loan, Nocerina on loan, signed for Genoa, went to Novara on loan, signed for Torino, signed for Arezzo, and then there were 3 more clubs. I'm tired. You should know him.
Yeah, you just won Mafia.
Yeah, today they are on Mafia.
The person always had the question, she not try.
Producer Joseph, you're a fool.
Joseph, read them why signed you. Tell me why. The painful thing is that we know the player too.
Okay, I'm switching from this so we don't waste time. But I'll tell you who it is. Ahmed Barroso. Anyway. If I give you 10 years, you wouldn't know. So I'm moving on from that.
But if you add free kick, we still know we'll get that.
No, like that's why I tell you saying he's not a world beater, but he did a few things on a pitch that made him stand out.
If that boy play, we don't see the ball still.
Black Stars 1 year pay. Anyway, let's look at another guy. Started for Leicester City, moved to Liverpool, Birmingham, Wigan Athletics, Aston Villa, Newcastle Jets, and then Bolton Wanderers. And unfortunately, I can't tell you where he made his name because every one of these clubs where he went
Mark
to,
Viduka.
No.
Rodriguez?
No. Leicester, Liverpool, Birmingham City, Wigan Athletics, Aston Villa, Newcastle Jets,
Moses.
No. I didn't mention Chelsea.
Emil Heskey
is correct. Emil Heskey is correct. Sito launches a comeback. Sito launches a comeback and has won today's episode. This is a secured victory. Today, Ajo, you don't get anything though. Ajo, today, what's this?
I take like back to back. First one he wins, second one I win. So next week to obvious winner.
Sito wins today's episode, and Sito will get a prize. Next week we are going to be giving prizes.
Next week, last week prize day.
We start this week. But Sito wins from this episode, and it's the winner or the winning name was Emil Heskey, a forgotten striker, but everywhere he went to, this guy scored goals. He scored 40 goals for Leicester City, 39 goals for Liverpool. He scored 14 goals for Birmingham, 15 goals for Wigan. He scored 9 goals for Aston Villa. He scored Newcastle Jets. He scored 10 goals. Like everywhere he goes, he scores goals. He's not playing a lot of games, but he's scoring lots of goals. But yeah, that's Emil Heskey. And that will be it for today's episode. Ajo has been so busy with his bets. I don't know if Ajo, is it going well?
Charlie, they go all pass. I will take my 4 for the week.
Anyway. Thank you very much, guys. Thank you very much for doing the watching and the listening as well. If you're doing the listening on Apple Podcast or Spotify, same time next week will come your way. Subscribe for us. Subscribe. If you are watching this episode, you're not subscribing, then you are not doing us any service. Please make sure you share and you hit the subscribe button. We'll see you same time next week. Thank you very much.
Welcome to Footy Center Podcast Series. Welcome to Footy Center Podcast Series.